Right, we're off. Time Bandit does Iceland Part 2, the second half of the island. Basically, we're killing time while the trade winds ease off at the top of Madagascar, so we can slot our way south down to Cape Town for Christmas. It's all about trying to find a balance between this and this. In Part 1, we did the south coast and its glaciers and waterfalls. Now we're headed into the more barren interior.
According to the chap we've just recently been chatting to, the local, this was once green all the way down to the bottom until the sheep overfed over the whole area, and now it is totally barren. And where there used to be 1 million sheep in the whole island, now there's only 500,000.
We read somewhere the geothermal resources of Iceland could heat Europe. On this one, the kettle's definitely boiling. And the really good news is if you stand close to this, you can break wind and nobody notices. Mud bath, anyone? We've stopped in Vatten. Vatten means lake. My means fly. You can't even speak for the millions of the little buggers. Whoops, that's not a road, that's an airport. Get that drone out of here. And if you take that road on the right, that takes you to the Dettifoss waterfall.
Wow, look at the view.
In the complete absence of clouds, let alone rain in Iceland, we've come to the Dettifoss waterfall to see just how waterproof our new jackets really are. And right down there is a pot of gold. The concert hall, the town, and the backdrop of snow-clad mountains. And this is Akureyri, Iceland's second largest city, and right outside our window was the big party of the summer, till 3 AM. Thank you very much, young folk. Viewers from our time in Indonesia might remember Carl and Julie, and if it's not blindingly obvious, Carl is from Iceland. So we toured the family to see what dirt we could get on Carl. Continuing the family affair, we headed for the rice house, where we also managed to cadge a bagel and a cup of coffee. Carl's brother's parting words were, "The roads aren't great north of here," and they weren't. A bit marbly but hard-packed and nothing like as bad as the corrugations in Australia. Didn't we do well? All this warmth and sunshine wasn't giving us a true feel for Iceland, so we were really glad to see the 10 degrees and wet. Get the true Icelandic experience. Now, up in them there hills, we'd read there was a natural geothermal spa.
I think I'll get a massage.
Right, close it off, jump in.
Oh, it's lovely.
And this is the changing room. Last time we looked in a place like this, there were sheep. A slimy, algae-filled pool
Of warm water.
of warm water in the mountains. How nice is that? Our own private hot tub in the middle of the mountains.
We got a picture of the black volcanic.
Right, not so long ago we were swimming with the sharks in Chagos. Now we're going to see what they taste like. And this is the air drying shed where they dry something like 4 tons a year. Yuck! The sharks are native to Iceland and Greenland waters and are really inedible. Well, they are inedible, they'll kill you unless you let them dry in the open air for 3 to 4 months.
Yeah, another exciting lunch.
Usually bar. Yum yum. Nobody can tell us what they do with all these horses. They are everywhere. As common as sheep, and I suspect just as tasty. Oh, horsey, why the long face? So, after a couple of days, we headed south from the West Fjords back towards Reykjavik. Well, back in Reykjavik and back to check the boats again. I think he dropped his wallet in amongst the fish.
It's a big one.
You looking for chips? There we go, whoa!
That's a big one. Is that a cod? Yeah, wow.
And all these fish line caught from this tiny wee boat. Imagine what the big guys get. Fishing boats come in all shapes and sizes, from this pretty little Adalbjorg to these big guys. And that's the kind of proportion you like to see underwater. Super yacht or fishing boat. Having been on the bridge of one of these things, it's a combination of both. From tuna by the container load in the Seychelles to cod by the container load in Iceland. And a whole new definition of bicycle chain. It was payback time for the motorcycle trip, so I had to do the culture tour of Iceland, including the museum. First up, broken plates. Well, our last view of Iceland before we fly. So, our last night in Reykjavik, we decided we'd splash out on a nice hotel room for our last night at the end of the trip. Perfect. So that's Iceland. Thanks for watching. I think we've got a lot of this in our future, but not for a few weeks. We'll be in Scotland, and maybe you'll get a video about that. However, there's always an however. Noralee's got her hooks in me, so maybe it's time for Africa.